Well, I don't wake up every day thinking, wow, I'm black, let's start the day. It's just kind of, you know, I'm just me growing up. I'm aware that I'm black. I mean, you know, you grow up, you have many little flags that remind you of certain discriminations and prejudices of society. But I don't let that be my identity.
There's pressures. I don't know. I'm kind of like of the opinion that everyone is equal and everyone's just, you know what I mean, everyone's achieving their goal. I'm not really conscious of people's colours and people's ethnicities. I'm just conscious of people being good people or people being bad people.
I believe that there's, in some sense, like a kind of demand, being a coloured man, especially young, that you have to fulfil a certain stereotype or an identity.
But we're actually now at this point where we are accepted and free to be who we want to be. I think for me that comes directly from growing up in South London. I was raised by a single mom, and then I remember the one thing that she said to me, which I'll never forget. She said, "Tambo, the reason I was strong was not because I wanted to be, because I had to be." And so to me that highlighted that choice is something that we live with every day.
I think in this generation, being a man of colour, it's a bit easier because I think the way has been paid for us from earlier generations. And you know, I don't think they want to see us make the same mistakes or have the same hardships that they've had.
I'll be honest with you, I try not to make my colour be an issue, which is very difficult because people see you and judge you immediately. Now for me, I've always tried to work from a point of, I want people to treat me the way I treat them. So I try to be polite, I try to be affable, I try to be humorous and just work with people in the right way. Now that's not always going to work.
It's tough and it's mind-boggling. It's like, ever since I was young, I think the identity of who you are is always the question you're going through in life. You're either gonna be, what? A roadman, or you're gonna be someone who's sensible, but because you're black, you can't necessarily always you just don't get a clean slate like anyone else. Like, you're not just gonna be treated as a guy.
There's a lot of expectation for you to fail. And the whole ethos of being a black man in the UK, as well as in generation period, yeah, you're destined to fail. But the guys, the Barack Obamas, the Luther Kings, even the Gandhis of the world, make it known that, yeah, you're black, but you can still make it, and you can still make a difference.
A long time in history, if you look back, even from the civil rights movements, the men were fighting for their own freedom just to be seen as equals with our counterparts. But now we're in a generation, we're in a time, we're in a period where men of colour are seen, not accepted and seen as equals in every right. But then it's about breaking out of those subcultures.
I'm an actor by trade, and you tend to find people want to pigeonhole you as thug number 2 in the lineup, or gangster or drug dealer. So I try to make sure that I give account of myself where, you know what, I am multifaceted, I'm variable, I can do whatever you want me to do. I can do Shakespeare, I can do emotional stuff, I try to be rounded.
There seems like there's a lot of pressure on us to overstep this kind of wall that's in front of us. In terms of being a creative, in terms of me being an actor and a comedian, there's like, in terms of comedy especially, like there's the black comics and then there's the mainstream. In terms of being an actor, it's like there's not enough roles for actors, and there's these BAME actors, and do you know what I mean? It just seems like there's this constant wall that is put in front of black people, black creators. So I'm not really conscious of it, so I just feel like I'm a regular human being, just doing what I love to do and striving, but I am conscious in the back of my mind of this wall that I kind of need to step over, kind of like just jump over in order to reach the highest heights.
I love being black though. I mean, geez, this melanin, what? Are you nuts?
My name is Christopher Charles, which is probably the whitest name you could ever hear of if you didn't know my skin colour. But when I speak to my mum, I say to her, "What made you why did you pick that name?" And she said this to me in the rawest way, she said, because when you apply for jobs and people see your CV, when they read your name, it's more acceptable.
Don't conform to the stereotypes. Don't be what they tell you to be, but be who you choose to be.
And I kind of felt that was only a few options for me growing up in the East, being young and black. There's only a few options, and that was gangs, that was, money, that was being on roads, that was doing my own thing, that was smoking weed.
I chose to be the guy that wore his trousers low, the guy that listened to Tupac, Biggie, DMX, Dre, emphasized all those stereotypes and thinking that was what made me who I am, when in fact, it was me deciding to pave my own destiny, deciding to make the choices that I make that actually transformed and made me who I am.
I'm not going to hold on to the fact that I'm a black man. Everywhere I go, I need to be vexed, I need to be mad, I need to be kind of a feeling that anywhere I go, people are judging me because of that. No, that's not my way. And I try to kind of give that, especially to my older sons, in terms of and show an example of how we deal with things, how we move, how you carry yourself with discipline, honor, respect, style, class.
I really believe, especially as men, there's so many things in this world which kind of gives a definition of a man. If you're driving a nice car, if you've got a nice girl, if you're hench, or if you can, make money, if you've got a job. There's so many things which I believe kind of is pressed on you, like this is what makes you a man.
Look at Michael Jackson, you look at Muhammad Ali, you look at Prince. All these people were pioneers who chose not to stay in a box and chose to break out that box, break the mold, and became legends. And so one thing that I'm worried about is, where are the legends of our generation? Where are the people that are choosing to step out? Where are the people that are saying, do you know what, I will be great, I will be remembered? Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, they all stood for something.
I think this generation, they want to try and teach their kids to be someone, to be people.
I try to live my life as positive as I can and, go for all the opportunities and work as hard as I can. There's a lot of, things in life that you could achieve that hard work doesn't really get the credit for.
There are a lot of successful black men now, and I think, we're breaking down a lot of barriers, business-wise, entertainment-wise, sports-wise.
I'm of the belief that the only obstacles that we have as people in general is the obstacles we put in front of ourselves. I'm kind of like, I'm a competitive person, and so any obstacle that's put in front of me, I see it as a challenge, and I find my way of getting around it.
You're walking on the road, another man's looking at you, and now you're thinking to yourself, should I necessarily look? I don't want to look, but if I don't look, he's gonna think I'm moist, or if I don't look, he's gonna think that, I'm not on it. So I have to look, even if I don't want to look, to make him know that I am not scared.
Even guys, you need to chill out on the road thing. If you don't want to be on road, I don't want to be bad. You know what I mean? That's what it is. You come from the hood, that's what it feels like. It's like, if you're not bad, you're not getting no ratings or whatever, but it's not. It's just education. That's what I feel. Once they have the knowledge, you have more self-esteem in who you are. The same, that's why I'm standing here today.
Now, I've been on the road. I know the road up and down 1, 2, 3. And I can tell you, at the end of the day, you cannot be a 40-year-old, 50-year-old drug dealer. You are going to have children. You need to show them by example. Be educated. If you want to do music, fine. If you want to do acting, fine. Anything you want to do, no problem. But have your plan B. Have education behind you. So if that doesn't work out, you can go and do something else.
It's like a life or death situation, and he's covered in blood, I'm there, and I'm just thinking, is this what life is about?
You're educated, it opens your mind. So when you have your own children, you can pass that on, because I think what's happening now, we as a black community, especially the young, are in a state of emergency, and a lot of people don't really understand that, especially parents do not understand. We're in a state of emergency, and we are just rolling and rolling and rolling, and nobody's taking the time to think, you know what, we need to change this stereotypical idea that not only this country, but the world have of black people, young and old.
The young Barack Obamas of the world can't really do anything about it, because they're so conceived in that stereotype that black people are just out to make money and just try and get by. It's not that. We're force to be reckoned with. And if we knew what we were capable of, we can achieve a lot.
Ended up going to church a few Sundays after my friend was stabbed, and just hearing a message and seeing young people, young black people as well. Like, I was like, wow.
I never thought that I could actually make a change in this generation until I realized that not a lot of people are doing what I'm doing. Not a lot of people are choosing to step out. Not a lot of people are choosing to accept the mantle and think that, you know what, I can be great. I can be who, in essence, God has called me to be.
It's good to see the diversity, you know, in places, and people finding black people and black, especially black males as well, and, you know, getting them involved in stuff and pushing them forward for things that, you know, a few years ago we wouldn't have probably got a look in. So, I mean, it's definitely something that's been worked on throughout the years, and I think people and older generations have worked on it to try and make our lives easier.
I thought identity was found in, like, solely my colour and stuff like that, but I found that true identity was found in Christ and what Christ says about me, rather than what my friends said about me, what society says about me.
There is no such thing as a generic black man. You are unique in every way possible. You could have been born in the slave trade. You could have been born in the 1960s facing racism. You could have been born in the period of Africa where Africa was great and we were running around with lions, doing our thing. But you were born now. You are here for a reason. And that means you define your purpose. You define your destiny.
If you're a young man, you've got young children, older children, when they come in, how was your day at school? What did you do? What are you doing in school? Okay, show me your book. Sit down and write a sentence. Sit down and read a book. Spend time with your children. Even a walk to the park. You know how much men I know don't take their children to the park and go and kick a ball or push them on a swing? Children remember that. Small things like that, take them for ice cream. Children remember that. So for me, I would say to every young man, 1, educated. 2, spend time with your family, spend time with your children, because they grow up very quick. And if you don't watch what they're doing, they will just go on the road and find someone who will watch what they're doing, and he might not be the right person for them.
In retrospect, for the young people today, I just advise them to home in on their hobbies, home in on their talent.
Find your craft or whatever it is you want to do in life, and believe in yourself and go and make it happen. You know, life is getting harder. You can't expect to just, you know, grow up, just get a job. Bruv, those jobs that you're talking about, they're not really there, you know? So you need to be focusing and thinking about your future from now.
Everything that we see today, like in terms of things that might amaze us, at one point someone was told that can't be possible. And so, do you know what I mean? Don't let anyone tell you you can't, or don't let anyone tell you that this is the way it is and this is the way it's always going to be. If you want to do something, do it.
I've been in jobs, in and out of jobs, and then I decided one day that I wanted to do comedy. And I didn't know anything about comedy. I knew that people said to me I was funny. So I decided to just one day decide to write. And now I've been doing stand-up comedy for nearly 3 years. So yeah, if you have dreams and stuff, and if you have aspirations, just do it. I mean, I've written a book, which is on Amazon now. And you know what I mean, that's worldwide coverage. So people can actually buy my book that I've written around the world.
I've been drumming since I was 5 and 24 now. And I've built up that talent from younger year, and I've said to myself, I'm gonna make money out of this. And I do it. And it is possible. You just gotta grind hard. And you just gotta keep God first in everything that you do. I can't be stressed out. And just be humble, be respectful, and make sure you perceive yourself in a certain manner that is accustomed to the situations that you're in.
To look to Christ, that's where true manhood is. Manhood is found in him. You know, he was selfless, he loved sacrificially, he was humble. And I feel like as young men, these are qualities whichever we have to embody, you know, humility.
To the younger generation, I would say, you know what? Your span of being able to mess about until it's time to figure out is actually getting shorter. So, you know, where you're thinking, I'll get to about 23, 24, then I'll be serious. Bruv, from 17, you kind of need to know where you're going in life. Otherwise, you're going to find it hard to change direction.
As being black, anyways, to me, it's already tough. You already got a hard grind just being yourself. So you need to just believe in yourself more. You are beautiful. You are smart. You can make it, and you can do it.
Get used to finishing things. There's a lot of people that have a problem of starting stuff and stopping because like, this is getting dead. It's alright, I'll just do this. Bruv, you can't keep on changing your direction. Sometimes you gotta plow through. Everything is hard. Prepare for every single thing to be hard. Yeah? Once you get through the stage of hard work and enjoy hard work, you start to see the results of hard work. That's when you start to enjoy life. So be prepared to work, commit to something and see it through.
If we all come together and we show that we're a force to be reckoned with, I think there's nothing that can stand in anybody's way with that kind of mentality. So I'm of the opinion that just work hard, build a collective, join forces and break the norms. That was a good answer.
You know what? Melanin is a madness. So, men of color, hey, love this thing, ain't gonna lie.